What's up, everyone? Welcome to Let's Play Super Earth Defense Force. This game, like Maniac Mansion and Mega Man, is one of my earliest gaming memories, and this is also the game that began my deep love for shoot-em-ups. It's no Ikaruga or any other treasure game, but it's still one of, I would say, two shmups that I credit for getting me into the genre as much as I am. This and R-Type. Super Earth Defense Force is not related to the recent Earth Defense Force games about murdering giant ants, though I should check those out because I do love murdering ants of all sizes. Those games are all sequels to a game called Global Defense Force. And real quick, let's see, I think I'm going to start off with not Plasma, Photon. And I'll talk more about the 8 weapons that we can choose from in a little bit. So Super Earth Defense Force is a pure bullet hell style side-scrolling shmup. There's no level design here, except for really awesome looking pretty backgrounds that have some cool dynamic effects you're going to see later in this level and in each subsequent level. Just enemies and bullets. It starts off a little bit easy, and part of the reason why I took the Plasma, because I can just kind of show off a really cool feature of this weapon. It was published by Jaleco. Jaleco, by the way, was almost the publisher for Silent Hill. It started out its life as an arcade port, which is why you see the quarter muncher features, like the continues, the scores, the leaderboards when you game over or you win, stuff like that. When it was in the arcades, though, it had a 2-player co-op mode, which the SNES release, the version I'm playing, unfortunately lacked. Yeah, I love being able to melee with this plasma field or this electricity field while you're charging it up. What it did add, though, it added, I believe, a couple of extra weapons, and it might have added no, I don't think it added a stage. So we had 8 weapons to pick from. You see me kind of tearing this level up. This is the only slightly tricky part of the level. Just gotta make sure I get that other one before he fires some volleys. Yeah, not too hard. 8 weapons to pick from. I'm gonna try to show as many of them off as possible. Hopefully this mini-boss gets some attacks off before it dies. This is a really powerful weapon. It's a weapon! It's really powerful, especially against living things. Yeah, just... Oh! It actually is gonna get the chance to attack more than once. Okay. I'm also going to have to restrain myself once we get to the boss of this level, otherwise the boss isn't actually going to get to attack me. With this weapon, I've seen this boss die in about 4 to 5 seconds. So I might actually have to just not shoot at it at all in order for you guys to be able to see what it can do. Yeah, I'm going to try to show as many weapons off as possible. There are 6 stages in the game. I might repeat a weapon, so... there's probably going to be at least 5 weapons shown off. I'll think about getting a 6th one in there. The really useful ones are all going to get utilized. The ones that sound cool actually kind of aren't. There was one, I can't remember the name of it. It's Atomic. Atomic sounds nuts. Like, it sounds like an atomic bomb. It's really just a stronger version of a weapon called Grenade. And... not all that useful. It doesn't have a lot of utility. It has some stopping power, but it's also not very quick. There's the first boss. I did not shoot him at all for the first several seconds in order for you to see the minigun attack of his, and then his phase 2 attack. He just adds in a couple bullet sprays. Very easy boss. The game is going to pick up in difficulty very sharply come about stage 3, and then stage 4 is probably the hardest stage in the game. So for the second stage, we'll show off the S-Laser. The S-Laser is a combination of homing and laser. You haven't seen either of those two yet, but you can pretty much guess what they are. So the game's gimmick... oh, wait a minute. Yeah, as you can see, like I was saying before, unfortunate side effect of the game is sometimes you get this really nasty slowdown effect. So the game's gimmick is in how the 8 selectable weapons level up. As your score increases, that bar, that orange bar at the top, fills up, and when it's full, you'll gain a new level for your special weapons, which makes them slightly better and sometimes changes the function ever so slightly. And you can level up to level 5. Is that right? Yeah, level 5. And after you hit level time, every time you fill that bar up after that, you will get an extra shield. Which means you can just take one more hit before you have to start the level over and use a continue up. And leveling also applies, as you can see, to all of your weapons. So since I leveled the Photon up to level 2 in the first stage, that carries over between stages, and it also applies to the next weapon I picked, which is the S-Laser, which is now at level 3. And then the next weapon I pick, even if it's different from the S-Laser, that will also be level 3, and it'll just keep going like that. Your weapon level also carries over between stages, as you can see, and continues, I should say. That's what I meant to say. I think there's 2 more of these, unless I wasn't paying attention to the first one. It'll be a bug. Oh no, I did miss the first one. Okay. So there's nothing really... Oh, wait, is this the tricky part of this level? No. I think I already got past the tricky part, to be honest. That is where homing weapons really come in handy in this game. Ah, shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Trying not to get hit. If I could get the first 2 levels perfect, that would be great. I think you get a score bonus, which means level up just a slight bit faster. Damn, Did I move upwards into one of the Squid Monster's plasma rings? Squid Monster's plasma rings. Oh, that's great. Another chump boss. He's not gonna fall quite as quickly as the first boss because we don't have quite as powerful a weapon. Plus, I believe he just is a bit more durable than the first boss anyway, so we're actually gonna get to see a few more of his attacks without having to hold back as much. I am holding back just slightly, just kind of feathering the button. And there are all of his attacks. Let's finish them off. Just like that. The game looks really easy right now. It's going to get much more difficult. I'm so sad that that wasn't a perfect run. I was doing so well up to that point. Oh well, one careless mistake. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to get through this game on 1 credit. Or on 1 continue, without having to game over at all. Actually, no, you have 3 continues, so a game over would be dying 3 times. Yeah, I'm trying to not do that at all for this playthrough. And this level is... It's tricky, to say the least. At least there are very tricky sections of it. There are 3 in particular that I can think of that I have to really be careful about. So my commentary might drop off a little. It's not here. When these things enter the screen, it can get hectic the first time you play it, but you just have to know the patterns they move in and which side of the screen they're coming in from. They can damage you when they come in from off screen, which is why, aside from the first level, you see me sticking more towards the middle of the screen. I don't like fighting those guys that shoot the big orange crescents at you, the crescent plasma shots with the grenade, but the grenade is otherwise probably my favorite weapon for this level, and I definitely want to go with what I'm comfortable with here. Because aside from the fact that there are just a couple tricky sections coming up in this level, the boss tends to be a little bit nasty to me sometimes. So I would like to reach him with minimal health loss. Ah, these 2 are a pain in the ass to deal with. Again, this is why I don't like using the grenades against those guys, but there are only, what, 3 of them total in the level, so it's worth it. It's worth using this weapon against them. Oh, kind of watch the pattern. They kind of move in a... Ah, shit. I forgot about the ones that come in from the right side of the screen. When they come in packs of 4, they kind of do a semicircle loop when they fly around after they fire their first shots off. The best way to avoid that is to just go into a corner of the screen, either I like bottom left or bottom right, mini-boss isn't gonna get to attack in its second form. I can't play around too much with that mini-boss. I'm also not gonna play around too much with the second form of the main boss of the stage, like I was with the first and second bosses, because I am too worried that it will actually kill me. Ah, hell. This is actually not off to the start I want it to be. Oh, well, as long as I get to that boss... with 2 shields intact, I'll have no real room to, I'll have no real reason to worry about dying to it. If I get to him with 1 shield, though, I'll be a little bit concerned. He's the kind of boss that I can finish off pretty quick, but I just sometimes take stray hits that... you'll see, it's a much more chaotic fight than the first 2 bosses. Okay, that's going... No, I thought I blew it up! Oh, shit, I am gonna have to fight him with 1 health. That's not good. Okay. Damn, the first half of this level went pretty decently, and then it just went super downhill at around the halfway mark. Okay, well... we're just gonna have to see how this goes. It's a big fish! It's a big crayfish. Or something. It's not a crayfish, is it? Okay, so, and down. I'm gonna keep repeating this pattern. He'll do this 4 times. That'll let me get maximum uptime shooting at him. And then I have to be careful about this. Woo! Ooh, shit. That is not the scariest part, though. So when those bullets explode into about 6 or 7 smaller bullets, you can almost always get them to go into the same spot in the corner if you're quick enough. This is the phase of the fight that can get kind of hairy. The slowdown might help me out a lot there. Yeah, that's the only real part I was worried about with this fight, especially going in at 1 health. If I go in at 2 health on this fight, I can usually get away with screwing that part up, and then he'll die before he can do that again in his second phase. So overall, it's not too big of a deal. We'll just keep blowing him up. You shouldn't get another attack off, I don't think. Okay, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's a good thing that after the boss dies, their projectiles cannot hit you. It would have been a double KO. Shit. Okay, so I don't really like cutting the episodes so short, but this is not going to be a very long playthrough, and I don't want to split mid-mission next mission, so we'll pick up at the start of the next episode with the start of Stage 4. It's going to be a much tougher, more hectic game from here on out, so I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.